It's day 49.
Day 49.
Day 49.
And no cheats.
No cheats. No, not at all. Not at all. I had not had pizza, I had not beer. Nothing, which are my cheats. Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Keto Cut. So this is a very highly anticipated episode because everyone's always wanted to meet the coach.
Yes.
The coach, he does have a name, he's not called the coach. Ross Flanagan.
Flanagan. If you ever meet me, you have to say Ross and then Flanagan. It's a nice nasally voice.
Just like that. So guys, this is Ross. He is the co-owner of Gaines Bakery. If you're new to my channel, what are you doing? Subscribe and you know what Gaines Bakery is. If you're an OG like I know you guys are, then you know Gaines Bakery is a amazing cafe here in New Braunfels, Texas that makes just stupidly good food.
Witchery.
Witchery. I call it witchery because literally they turn boring food into almost feel like cheat meals, but they're all healthy, so it's insane. But let's just dive into the first most kind of stupid question, just kind of shits and giggles. First question was...
I do want to preface something. I am not a doctor,
yes,
so you don't have to listen to this. This is just our opinions for entertainment purposes.
Yes, we obviously both are not doctors. Well, no, I'm a doctor. No, I'm not a doctor. We're both not doctors, guys, and you know this. I've said this many times on my channel. I am not an expert. I don't have certification in anything. The only thing that I bring to you guys is my experience, my life experiences, my failures, what has worked for me, what has not worked for me, and I share that with you. I'm an open book. So then hopefully when you make that decision, whatever that may be, whether going to school, start a business, train, you don't make the same mistakes as me. And so that is where we're truly coming from and where we're speaking from.
But just because we're not doctors does not mean we don't know what we're talking about.
Yes, that is very true. Okay, first question, chicken or steak?
Chicken or steak? So I think we're going to approach all these questions in a sort of conversation style.
Yeah.
Because when we're looking at dieting and nutrition and the human body, in my opinion, in my experience, people sort of fall short or fail because they try to put a blanket statement on what they're trying to do.
Yep.
And it's just not that simple.
Yep.
Numbers are simple. 1, 2, 3, that's simple. But the human body is not. These are just from our experiences. Chicken or steak? If we're looking at trying to improve our body, they're two dramatically different protein sources in my opinion. And when you're practicing a ketogenic based diet, I think a lot of people actually lack the amount of essential fatty acids and they resort to sort of lower grade fats like pork rinds and sour cream. So I love red meats. I think it's anti-inflammatory. It's loaded with great amino acids, great fatty acids, but it does tend to slow down digestion. In my diets, I always do about 1 to 2 red meat meals a day. And the rest are leaner cuts of meat, chicken, eggs, egg whites, whey protein, and those things seem to break down a little bit easier. We want optimal digestion when we're talking about protein, so I like both of them. It's probably not the answer you guys are looking for, but they both have their purposes.
If I had to pick, I would obviously going to go with steak, guys. You know me.
Oh, the taste? Yeah, steak.
Gotta go with steak. Okay, so on to the next question. This is a good one. This is one I was really looking forward to. So, how am I liking the 6 meals versus OMAD and intermittent fasting that I did last year on the Keto Cut? And obviously that question is directly towards me. I was talking to Ross, it's night and day, guys. So as you guys know, for the past 4 seasons of Keto Cut, I always implemented intermittent fasting, 16 hours minimum. Last year, I wouldn't have my first meal. I wouldn't even think about having my first meal till about 1 o'clock, sometimes going till 3 o'clock. And it would beat me up mentally. Mentally, I would have anxiety, like, oh, it's barely 11 o'clock, like, oh man, I still got 3 more hours, like I'm hungry, I want to eat, and I'm just constantly thinking about when I'm going to eat, right? And then when I would have that meal, and I would just go to town. Sometimes binging, just tearing it up, go to town. And then 9 o'clock would get here, and I would have that anxiety, that same anxiety, like, oh God, it's about to be 9 o'clock. Like, here's my eating window's about to end. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta hurry up. Like, and it really messed with me. It really messed with me mentally, and it really set up bad habits for me. Now, again, I don't want you guys to think that I'm not a big believer in intermittent fasting, because I am. I am a huge believer in intermittent fasting. But if I had to be just absolutely real with you guys and tell you the difference between 6 meals that I'm doing now in the keto cut to intermittent fasting, 6 meals have just been amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing for me.
So I think a lot of the people, when they ask questions, the questions are all relative. So when you're asking health-based questions, or like, what should I do, or what's your opinion on this philosophy or that philosophy, I think it's all relative to where the person is on their journey and what their goals are. So without getting into too much of a rant here, intermittent fasting definitely works. People have great results on that. People have great weight loss sort of accomplishments doing the 1 meal a day. But you have to ask yourself, where am I at now, and where am I looking to go?
Yep.
Now, Logan's already done his transformation. He's already lost all this weight. So his goal is going to be a little bit different. His goal is to try to do the quote unquote impossible, build muscle while losing fat. It's possible, but it's very difficult. We have to say to ourselves, is fasting throughout the entire day and only eating 1 meal a day, or a variation of that, is that optimal for our goals? And in my experience, what he's trying to do, it is not optimal. So you really have to ask yourself, where am I at and where am I going?
Yeah, where it's really helped me is that I'm not thinking about food. Like, I don't ever think about food. My energy levels are out the roof. I could get up in the morning. I just started fasted cardio, but typically before this, I would get up in the morning and just start my day and start eating, and not have to worry about, oh man, is this messing my metabolic state up? Oh, is this messing my fat burning state up? Oh my gosh, am I having this first meal now? I'm not burning any more fat, and that's not the case, because we're getting the results that we want. We're dropping weight. We're still in ketosis, and everything's going according to plan. 49 days in, and so obviously it's working. And yeah, I mean, like I said, before this cut started, when Ross showed me that 6 meals to start off, I was like, what? Like, is this guy serious? Like, Ross, I meant the keto cut, not the keto bulk, okay? Not the keto bulk. And it's worked, guys. And remember, I told you that episode 1. I said, look, because that was the number 1 question. Everyone said 6 meals a day.
What are you doing?
What are you doing 6 meals a day? You're trying to lose weight. You're gonna mess up you're gonna spike insulin. You're
not gonna need ketosis.
Guys, I'm showing you. I just did my ketone readings today.
In person.
So if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I post my ketones every morning. I just posted it. You saw it. I was in Gaines Bakery before my first meal because he was making me breakfast. And I was like, well, let me do my ketones first. 1.7. Everything's going according to plan with 6 meals a day. But again, I do believe in OMAD and intermittent fasting as well. Just that's the difference.
I'd like to add to that. So in my experience, in my philosophies, I always look at the bigger picture. So I think a lot of people, when they're set out to do these lifestyle changes, transformations, they want to be the best version of themselves. They focus on such an acute sort of goal, which would be weight loss.
Yeah.
And I alluded to this in the beginning, where numbers are simple. The body is complex. So I think a lot of people focus on just losing weight, but what is that weight loss? Like, what's behind those numbers?
Yeah.
What is that doing to your psyche? What's that doing to your relationship with food?
Yep.
And let's be real, the majority of the people that are doing a keto diet have been in a poor relationship with food, which is what got them there.
Yep.
So in my experience, there has to be a harmony between, again, what they're trying to do and what their goals are, where they are, because restricting yourself, you even said it, you were in a bad place with food.
Place. Yep.
And the keto diet is supposed to basically reverse all those relationships with food when done properly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, the next question. So here we go. What is better to do when cutting, cardio or strength training? So if you're trying to cut, and what is the thing you need to be focused on? cardio or strength training?
That's a really good question.
Yeah. Now look, obviously both are very important, but they want to know like what's more important. They had to pick one.
So this goes back to, you're going to look at an acute, so small sort of thought process, and a long-term thought process. I have an analogy about this topic, and it's sort of about calorie deficit or calorie expenditure. Cardio will burn more calories compared to weight training.
Yeah.
Right out the gate. You can go on the Stairmaster, burn 600, 800,000 calories.
Yeah.
Boom, you're already in a deficit. Strength training, the goal is not to burn calories. The goal is to stimulate muscle, so we can get protein synthesis, so we can build muscle.
Yeah.
Over time, that muscle will require caloric demand, which means you're going to be burning more calories throughout the day. So it's almost like an investment sort of opportunity. You can either go all in and try to get that like huge return right up front, which would be cardio, or you can play the long game and you can say, hey, I'm just going to invest 100 calories in the gym every single day in effort to build this portfolio of muscle, so that way we're burning more calories down the road.
I'm always going to pick the side of strength training.
Yeah.
Because you start building muscle, well, one, that's what you want, right? That's what you want. It's gonna pay off big time in the end, because when you're building muscle, it's gonna be easier for you to burn more body fat, and you're also gonna be able to eat more. So
we all love to eat, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, at the end of the day, I'm always going to pick strength training as if I had to pick one, but both are very important. Obviously, if you're following this keto cut, I'm doing both. I'm doing fasted cardio, I'm doing my training, I'm doing cardio after my training. So obviously both are very important, but again, that's not what the question is. It was, if you had to pick one, what's better? And I'm gonna pick straight training. Why am I taking psyllium husk powder? What does it do for me?
Do you want to answer that first, or do you want me to?
So I'll tell you this. So with this last year's keto cut, I wasn't taking psyllium husk powder.
Okay.
I wasn't. And this cut, you had me taking it once in the morning and once at night. Why do you have me doing that?
There's two types of fibers. There's insoluble fiber and there's soluble fiber.
Okay.
Both of these types of fibers do two different things in the body.
Okay.
So when people say, oh, I eat a lot of fiber, I eat a bunch of veggies, I eat a bunch of broccoli, that's insoluble fiber. And what that does, it adds micronutrients, vitamins, but it doesn't aid in digestion.
Okay.
What usually happens is that food is not broken down, it ferments in your gut, and then you fart. Okay?
Yeah.
So psyllium husk is soluble fiber. The goal is to lubricate and hydrate the GI tract, the digestive system, and allow you to absorb the food, digest the food optimally, absorb the food optimally, and then have your regular bowel movements. And then when we're eating a high protein diet, we want to be able to extract all those aminos, all these essential fatty acids, so that way we can make sure that our goal of building muscle, burning fat, is optimal. Okay. And it also keeps all that digestion keeps you hungry. Because like a lot of people, when they're eating a lot of food, or they're eating a low fiber diet, the food is just sitting in there. If the food's sitting in there, your hypothalamus and your brain, the gut is not going to function optimally. Okay. It's not going to make you hungry. Okay. So we want to be hungry. Hungry is good. We just have to control it and make sure we're eating the right foods.
Exactly, which we will get to. Okay, why am I consuming apple cider vinegar twice a day? So that actually goes together, because I'm not taking fiber alone and I'm not taking apple cider vinegar alone. I'm combining the two. Yeah.
So there's like 1,000 benefits of apple cider vinegar with the mother. The mother is the pulp. Okay. That's where like all the magic happens. I prescribe or recommend my clients and myself to do the apple cider basically to detox the body. Okay. Helps with digestion, helps with metabolism, detoxification. It helps neutralize the acidity in your body, and that's basically the main things. But you can use it for a number of different applications. And apple cider vinegar actually goes really well hand in hand with digestion of red meat. So if I'm having him, that's why I have him do 2 portions of the apple cider vinegar because he has some good amount of red meat in his diet. And we want to, again, have Logan digest that as much as possible.
Yeah, and I will say this. I did try the apple cider vinegar a couple of years ago, and I used to try to just do a shot, and I couldn't do it.
Nope.
It was awful. So if you're one of these persons who's thinking about doing it, and you think you're just going to be able to take a shot of apple cider vinegar, or maybe with some water and some lemon, that's not going to work. We have a daily health cocktail. So we add fiber, we add a scoop of psyllium husk powder, 3 servings of apple cider vinegar, and we put a scoop of BCAAs, or you can use your favorite electrolytes.
Mm-hmm.
So electrolytes, most of them are all flavored.
Yeah.
Just throw a scoop in there, and so that way it kind of masks the overpowering acidic taste of apple cider vinegar. And that's really been a game changer. That's what makes it easier for me to drink.
And not to plug, but I'm going to do a plug, shameless plug. If you go to the Gaines Bakery, on the beverage menu, we have the morning digestive cocktail.
There you go.
Which we make it. We'll show you how to do it because it tastes amazing. And it's dramatically different than the inverse, which is freaking gasoline down your throat.
Exactly. And you want to be able to, like I said, all these health things, you want to be able to do them and make them a lifestyle. Like if you're doing something that tastes like gasoline, I don't want you to do it. Okay, I don't care how good it is for you. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
It sucks. It wasn't until I finally found a nice recipe that it's like, dude, every morning, boom, it's easy to go. Here we go. What is your goal fat percentage? So that's good because I don't know what my goal fat percentage. I will tell you this, believe it or not, I don't think I've ever been under 10%.
Okay.
I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I seen your Instagram picture. I've seen pictures from you back 5 years ago. Dude, you look like you were 10%." Look, I did a DEXA scan and it told me I was at 10.2 at my leanest, and so I don't know what my goal is. Obviously, Ross is going to have a certain number in mind, but tell me, what do you think?
Actually, I'm not going to have a certain number.
Okay.
And I have a weird philosophy on this. People are like, Ross, what's your body fat percentage? I don't know. I never know. And this is why I don't care. Because it's not a credit score. It's not like you can buy a house with it. You can't do anything with it. It's like...
I wish.
Dude,
you have multiple problems.
I want that right there. That bends. Yeah, look at this. So, and there's so many different factors in the body fat percentage, which is why I like to just go off visually. Because people, they store body fat in different spots, and they sort of they have the inverse. They are leaner in a lot of spots.
Yeah.
So like I know people with striated glutes all year, yet they have a big belly.
Yeah.
I know people like myself, I can always have abs, but I store all my fat in my ass. And that goes hand in hand with hormones. Same thing. We have these estrogen pockets in our body where we store hormones and fat and water. So for me, it's my butt and my hamstrings. The goal is to get as lean as possible. So
everything's visual.
Yeah, everything is visual.
I like that.
In terms of that question. So if you guys are going to do those scans, it's with a grain of salt, and make sure that when you're doing your regular scans, you try to replicate every single thing that you did on the first scan.
Okay.
So
I like everything should be visual because again, and this kind of goes back to what I talk about the scale. The scale's a liar. The scale just tells you a snapshot in time of what that weight is, but it doesn't tell you that you're getting healthier. It doesn't tell you that your energy levels are a lot higher than they were a couple of months ago. It doesn't tell you that you're fighting type 2 diabetes. It doesn't tell you that you're fighting inflammation. It doesn't tell you that you went down 2 pant sizes. It just tells you a number.
And that's great because going back to what I said 2 other times in this video, numbers are simple, the body's complex. So don't let, if you get on the scale and you're 260, don't let that say that's a failure. Like all those other things could be off your prescription meds. Your blood glucose is down, you're in ketosis, you have a better relationship with food. All these successes could be a benefit of that or a result, but the scale is saying, oh, I'm almost 2 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, if I don't track my food, am I severely damaging my progress in trying to gain muscle? So I'm trying to gain muscle. You're trying to gain muscle, but I don't track my food. Am I really hurting myself?
I think there's different forms of tracking. And to answer the guy's question, I think yes.
Okay.
there has to be some sort of tracking, because you need to know, what you're eating, when you're eating, and how much of it. Because I know a lot of people, and this is like the weird male thing where they're boasting about how much food they're eating.
Yes, I was about to say that.
I ate 8,000 calories. I'm like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. So it is. So I don't count macros personally, but I follow like portions, and that way I know how much. 8 ounces of chicken, 250 grams of rice, or 4 ounce avocado. And then with Logan, this is going off topic, but I don't follow macros, but we need to know his macros, so that way we can adjust accordingly. But I'm not, and this is what, actually going back to one of the previous questions about the keto cut.
Yeah.
We were having a conversation before the video. He was tracking macros and justifying, the snacks and all that stuff. Hey, it's got 20 grams of protein. Perfect. That's my macros.
Yeah.
And he said himself he didn't have the success that he's having now, just based on following macros. But I do think if you're tracking macros to start, I would say that's a great first step, just to see how much you're eating, see what you're eating. But again, going back to something I said before, you have to look at yourself and ask yourself, where am I at now?
Yeah.
And where am I headed? If we're trying to optimize and change our body and be very fine-tuned, then there's applications and strategies that I will recommend and I will not recommend.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what he said, I have a good buddy in the gym, and he's always coming up to me and he's like, dude, oh man, you're looking great, this and that. He's like, how do I get like that? I'm like, dude, you gotta eat. And he's like, man, I eat a lot, bro. I'm like, man, I eat so much. He's like, I eat about 3,000 calories. I was like,
that's like the golden number.
I said, okay, you have 3,000 calories. Okay, so tell me everything you ate today, because it's already 5 o'clock, so I'm assuming he had about 5 meals and 4 meals already. So he's like, dude, I ate some egg whites this morning. I ate an egg. I had some bacon. I had some turkey bacon. And in my head, I'm just like, do you see what I mean? And it's not his fault. We all think we eat a lot, but until you really see what 3,000, 4,500 calories look like, you're like, okay, crap, maybe I'm not. Mm-hmm. And so, absolutely, I think tracking is going to be key. And so, also, what I want to talk about is what he spoke a little bit about earlier. The biggest difference of this keto cut and last year's keto cut is the quality of foods. I have never in my life done so much cooking. Okay, last year I did the keto fast food cut. It's almost what the huge difference is.
Yeah,
literally. This year I'm not doing any fast food unless I'm in a really big pinch. And if I'm in a big pinch, I'm making sure I go to a place that has, some high quality grass-fed beef and whatnot. I'm not going to McDonald's. I'm not going to Wendy's. I'm going to Hat Creek Burgers. I'm going to Five Guys. Mm-hmm. Somewhere where there's some type of quality, right? P. Terry's. Ooh. And so that is the biggest difference, guys, is that I am eating clean, whole foods. Steak. If it ain't steak, if it ain't eggs, if it ain't beef, if it ain't salmon, I'm not eating it. This year, this cut, that is the biggest difference. Eat the quality of foods, whole foods compared to fast food. But at the end of the day, if you look at the macros, they all pretty much look at the same. If you type it all in, it's like, hey, that's 2,000 calories. That's 2,000 calories. What's the difference, Logan? Well, this stuff is cooked in like canola oil and
the quality
is processed cheese, processed bacon, processed this. Here it's like, dude, I'm going to my local butcher and getting some steak and getting some some high quality eggs and chicken. And so that is the biggest difference between this year's cut and last year's cut. What should a beginner do before getting into the ketogenic diet? So for me, I always say talk to a doctor first. Obviously, make sure the doctor,
an educated doctor.
Yes, because unfortunately 9 out of 10 doctors are going to say, no, don't do the ketogenic diet.
That's cholesterol.
Get healthy off of food, while the doctor is overweight himself.
Yeah.
So again, it doesn't ever hurt. Like I'm rooting for the side that the doctor does want what's best for you. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to say all doctors are bad, because that's not the case. I know many doctors who are really great and they do want what's best for you. So obviously talk to a doctor first, but do some research. Like look, I'll be the first one to say the ketogenic diet is not for everybody. It is not. Is it an amazing diet? Does it do amazing things for people? Absolutely. Yeah. But I got great friends in the fitness industry. I have great friends that are not in the fitness industry who don't do keto, who have amazing results doing whatever they're doing. Mm-hmm. And it just, at the end of the day, it has to fit your lifestyle. Like, if you're someone who absolutely has to have alcohol on the weekends because you like going out, let me just be the first one to tell you, the ketogenic diet's not going to be for you. It's just not. It just isn't. And so my biggest recommendation is look at what you can have and look at your lifestyle and see if that can mesh, if that can fit together. If it can, then absolutely, I say go all in. Go all in.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that. And then just to take it a step further, do your research on what he said, but also, take some time and research the human body. What are the processes? What is a macronutrient? What is a protein? What's a carbohydrate? What's a trace carb? What's a net carb? What's a direct carbohydrate source? Because the internet has unlimited amount of knowledge, yet we are all uneducated. So that's kind of weird. So I would be proactive, learn about foods, learn how to cook, master that, and then learn your body and learn about the body.
Okay, next question. Why did I stop intermittent fasting if I wanted to cut? So I didn't stop intermittent fasting because I wanted to. Remember, I hired a coach. I hired Ross for his knowledge because whatever I did last year didn't work.
Mm-hmm. I love that question.
Did not work. And so I know I needed to make a change. So I went to Ross, said, this is what I want. This is what I do. They're in keto cut. I need your help. Boom, boom, boom. Wrote me a plan. No fasting on there. 6 meals. Look, instead of me saying, no, I'm not going to finish this. I'm not going to follow this. Look, I hired a coach for a reason. If you hire a coach, listen to your coach, okay? If your coach has fast on it, fast. If your coach has 6, 2, 3 meals, listen to your coach. That is why you hired him, because whatever you were doing in the past was not working, so now you're gonna try this. So I put all my trust in him, and I didn't fast. So that's really the only reason, guys. So it isn't because I don't like fasting or I don't believe in it. It's that, look, whatever I did last year, I know it didn't work, and so I knew I needed to make a change. And we got some boxing going on over there. I don't have cats, so like that is so new to me. If you're a cat person, then I'm sure that's normal to you. But that is the reason why. It's because I'm all in your plan.
Yeah. So I'm not selling my services at all. But I think everyone should have a coach. Because it keeps...
You have a coach.
I have a coach. Yes. And I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm doing, but the coaches will give you a perspective on the outside, because a lot of people they justify everything.
Yeah.
I'm doing keto, so I'm just going to have these pork rinds and
sour cream and cheese.
Yeah. It fits my macros. So I'm not against fasting at all. I actually have a lot of my keto clients practice fasting. But a good coach will take the whole entire picture. What's the person's lifestyle? What's their work life like? What are their goals? What's their history? Where were they? Where are they now? And where are they going? And Logan came to me with, this is what I'm doing. This is what I have done. This is what I'm trying to do. And this is my work schedule. This is my life.
Yeah. And
these are my goals. So I had to take all that and I'm like, okay, I don't recommend fasting here, because of X, Y, Z, and this is why I think we should do 5-6 meals a day. So people can lose body fat, people can lose weight on doing intermittent fasting in 1 meal a day. That's fine. But the one thing about doing frequent meals is that everything is consistent.
Yeah.
So we have consistent amino acids in our blood. We have fatty acids in our blood. Our metabolism is consistently firing because it's consistently breaking down food.
Yeah.
We consistently have energy. We are consistently eating, so we are satiated throughout the day. And we're most likely not going to binge eat if we're not restricting ourselves to this little tiny window.
Yeah.
And again, that's just from my experience and my beliefs.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. We finished this whole video. we finished this whole video and checked my camera and it died. So we're having to redo these last two questions. So last two questions. Do I enjoy higher protein keto compared to traditional ketogenic diet? So as you guys know, the traditional ketogenic diet is 75% fat, 20% protein, 5% carbs. That's pretty low protein.
Yeah.
That's awfully low. I don't do that. I'm always a huge believer in higher protein. So my protein most days is the highest macro. I get more protein in than I do fat. And guys, I'm still in ketosis.
You see
I'm still losing body fat. I'm still losing weight. I'm still making progress. So you got to do what works for you. For me, I can get away with a lot higher protein than most people. But again, a lot of people don't like doing higher protein because they think that when they do higher protein, your body's going to do this thing called gluconeogenesis, which will essentially take all that excess protein and turn it into carbs, which therefore will knock you into ketosis, which therefore will stop you from losing body fat. And that's not the case with me. As I've been tracking with Ross and on my Instagram, if you follow me, my ketosis levels every single day, and I am in ketosis, no problem.
Yep. Just this morning.
Yeah, this morning I was at 1.7.
Yeah. So I think a lot of, it's not really our fault in society, but we almost get afraid of certain things because, we're on the internet all the time and social media, and it sort of polarizes these, almost like scare tactics sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you eat more protein, you are not in a ketogenic diet because of gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis is when there's an excess amount of protein and there's an absence of glucose that your body will pull from the amino acids, convert that into glucose, which knocks you out of ketosis, to power the brain. If your protein's high and your fat is low, then your body will pull from the protein. Yes. However, if your fats are super high and your protein is higher than 20% or 25%, or it's just about even or a little bit above, your body is the chain of events is the body wants glucose, then the body goes to fat, and then the body goes to protein. That's the starvation mode. So when you're starving out in the wilderness, your body's going to use the glucose first, then the body fat, and then it's going to eat the muscle.
Yeah.
So there's more to that. Don't be afraid of eating more protein.
Yeah.
I love high protein diets. I think it's great for the brain. It's great for satiation, building muscle, and it's essential. And I think a lot of people just are afraid of the high protein.
I think you just got to do whatever works for you. It's worked for me. I'm showing you guys that you can have a higher protein and still be in ketosis and still make progress and still lose weight. So you just got to find what works for you. Okay, so this is an interesting question. This is actually a question by a good friend of mine. I know she's watching this. This is kind of interesting. So, what is a severely undereating number as far as for people who sit at a desk all day? So, if someone were to come to you or me and say, "Hey Ross, hey Logan, I eat X amount of calories, but I sit at a desk all day," that you're going to be like, "Wow, that's awfully low. That's pretty low." So, I'll answer this first. For me, if someone comes to me and they're like, "Hey, I'm eating 1,200 calories, but I sit at a desk all day," I'm going to be pretty concerned. I'm going to say that's awfully low. And most people, in my opinion, or that I've talked to, their BMI is all roughly around 16 to 1,800 calories. Mine's around 1,800. For girls, it might be a little bit lower, it's 14 to 16. And what that means is the amount of calories your body needs to absolutely function. Whether you're just laying down all day, it doesn't matter. The amount of food or the amount of calories your body needs just to live. And so if someone were to come to me and tell me 1,200 calories, but I sit at a desk all day, I would still have, I would have a lot of concerns. And again, you and I have answered this question before, so I'm going to steal a little bit of your things that you said. And the reason why I have a concern for that is because when you set your metabolic rate, your calorie intake super low, you're setting yourself up for failures. Your body's going to get used to eating like that, and essentially your body's going to be used to being in starvation mode, which is absolutely what you do not want to happen. Which obviously piggies back off what we were saying earlier about having high protein. resistance training. That is all going to build muscle, build up your metabolic rate so you can eat more, function better, lose more body fat. So when you start super low, I don't care, even if you're sitting at a desk all day, there's cause of concerns for me, for sure.
When you're in low calorie amount deficit, extreme deficit for a long time, the term starvation is thrown out quite loosely. But what happens is it's more of like, instead of a starvation mode, it's sort of like a priority list.
Yeah.
Your body is. So when you're consuming dramatically less amount of calories or a small amount or severe amount of calories, 1,200 calories, your body is going to set priorities. When you're in that low calorie amount, your priority is to survive.
Yep.
It's not going to do a million other things, which would happen if you're in a good amount of calories. Hormone regeneration, optimal hormone levels, muscle building, muscle repair, digestion, metabolism, all these things that are powered by high quality calories don't happen.
Yeah.
Brain power, all these things. Because the body is like, dude, I only have enough in my tank to just survive.
Yeah.
Just to sit on my desk.
Yeah.
And then he actually answered this the first time. Just stand up. Get that chair out of your life. Do a standing desk. And you're going to find that 1,200 calories is just like, whoa, like that's so, I can't even function at that. Bump the calories up in your life. Just a very small change from going this to this. Huge difference. Huge difference. It's going to change your life.
Yeah.
And that's one of the problem with America is that everyone is sitting. They're doing these long commutes in the car, then working at least 9 hours, 8 hours at a desk.
Yeah.
Another commute, and then they're going home.
And then, by then you're exhausted mentally, and I get it. Trust me, guys.
The last thing you want to do is go to the gym.
I get it. I've been in that 5 o'clock traffic where you're sitting in the car all for an hour and a half to work, an hour and a half back to work, and even though yes, you're not doing anything, you're just sitting. You're mentally drained. That the last thing you want to do is go work out. So you know what I did? I just go lay on a couch.
Yep.
And then you're just laying down all day, so you get in this really bad habit. So again, this question is a little like weird for me because I want to dive into it. Like I can make a whole separate video on just this question.
Yeah.
But you need to stop sitting all day, find a stand-up desk during your lunch breaks, go for a walk. Don't when you get out for work, don't go home. Go for a walk, go work out, go outside, do something before you get in that car. So that way, when you're home, you can finally rest and you don't have to like get dressed, go to the gym. There's so many little things that you can do to bump up that metabolic rate. So you don't have to sit all day and you don't have to eat these super low calories because you think that's the only way that you can get the key to get you where you're at. Because I sit at a desk all day, Logan. I'm not banging rocks all day like Joe Schmo over here. But that is our pretty much our best advice.
Yeah, we have a motto at the Gaines Bakery. It's 2 words: be human. Focus on being an active human. Not even being a fitness freak. If you're just a human, your life is going to dramatically change.
Yep.
Walk, stand, eat, drink, sleep. You're going to be totally different.
Whew. All right, guys. So there you go. Those are all the questions, dude. Thank you so much. We've done this like twice. We've done this twice just to let you guys know. It's kind of funny. But when
it's real, it's easy.
Yes, it is. It is. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know you're a busy guy.
Yes, so are you.
Dude, he's got a restaurant to run. I got 2 little girls.
I got to check in on him. Like, dude, where are your macros, bro? What's your ketones?
No, I'm a little bit late. He wakes up like super early. I wake up late, so it's like lunchtime by the time I'm checking in with you in the morning. Here's my morning pictures, Coach.
Morning, it's 4 o'clock.
I've been up for 6 hours, Logan. But anyways, guys, if you're ever in the New Braunfels area, guys, make sure you come to Gaines Bakery. Check them out. Seriously, the best quality food, the best tasting foods you will ever taste. I'm not making a bold statement, but it's true, guys. They make the normal food into like cheap foods. Like they make it seem like you're cheating, but it's all healthy, clean. I absolutely love that. They also can I announce your sauces?
Yeah, announce it, bro.
Okay, so they got some sauces coming out, guys, and I know you don't like using the word diet hacking sauces, but they have these amazing sauces that are just phenomenal. Like I literally go through them like crazy every month. I gotta come restock, and they're gonna start shipping nationwide.
Yeah.
So if you guys want some, you better start getting ready. Get ready to place your orders. They will sell out. Thank you so much, man. The Keto Cut, we're going into week 7. It's been amazing progress so far.
Yeah.
We're doing good. Visually, you know where you want me to look.
Yeah.
And you're guessing that weight will probably be somewhere around what?
About 178, 179 upon wake up.
And today, I was 188.2.
Yeah.
So we're steadily going down.
We're not chasing the scale, but like we were just saying, I think that where I want him to look is going to reflect, that scale.
Which I'm kind of happy about, because I literally, when people would ask me, what are you trying to get down to? I'm like, my coach hasn't told me, but they're like, I think you need to be like in the 160s. I'm like, oh my God. That's like 20 something more pounds. Like, are you serious? Oh yeah. I think you need to be there. I'm like, whew. So when you said that, I'm like, yes. But again, remember, all visual. We're all visual. Every week, everything we're getting a little bit better than last week, and that's all you can ask for, and that's all we want you to do. Get better than you were yesterday, get better than you were last week, last month, last year, and just take it from there. Take it from there.
And I think just going into week 8, continue with your, sticking to the plan 100%. And if you guys have a coach out there, if they're a good coach, they can't do their job if you're not talking to them.
Yeah.
So like, hey, Ross, dude, I skipped 3 meals, like, blah, 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 blah. I'm always in a meeting. That's why I can't do my cardio. You have to communicate with them because it's a relationship.
So thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far through the video, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. We will see you on the next episode. As always, we absolutely love you. Peace.